Hello everyone. This time I'm actually going to go even more in depth compared to the capture of flag maps. Capture of point maps are a lot more. The way you play the map is a lot more important, especially depending on your comp. So I do want to go a bit more in depth. I'll be spending more time on this than any other video, probably. The same I'll be doing with the other ones, Deep and Court and so on and so forth, due to the extreme amounts of different mechanics you can make a play on this map. So this map is very straightforward. First of all, how its layout is. On the alliance side, you have the stables, which you will always get. On the horde side, you have farm. These two you will always get if you're a horde or alliance. The next three are very interesting ones and how you play them out. Different comps play this out differently, and different comps have different strengths to win this. Let's take these two comps I've set up, these theoretical comps, and I actually have played against these comps, and I played with these comps. I actually believe I took this from a match I played where we actually were on this map. So, what do you want to do in this situation? Let's say you are Alliance. What is your objective? First of all, you have a very versatile comp. But you see the enemy comp has gone full melee cleave. In my opinion, and as far as I've experienced, you will lose the straight up fight. Unless you're able to outplay the enemy and actually just out DPS them or out kill them more specifically, you will be losing this fight. Or that's my experience as said. So you don't want to make an all-out attack. What you want to do in this situation is you want to attack all three bases at the same time, and we want to try and mirror the enemy to a certain degree. What you often do on this map is you send a tank together with a holy paladin to one location, and you have the rest of the team circ on blacksmith. But what you can do in this situation, because you will be losing the straight up fight, is instead of sending the normal team, you'll be sending your mage, rogue, and for example a priest. The classical RMP comp, which is currently used a lot in Free Freeze, you'll be sending them down to mines. Additionally, you'll be sending your tank and your paladin up to lumber mill, and the rest will be going mid just to circ and hold out. If the enemy team, they do the same essentially, do it like this, send one priest here, have their rogue, priest, and let's say a paladin instead, generally you will be winning this matchup because you're just stronger. RMP is stronger than paladin, rogue, priest. There's a reason why it is more played in Free Freeze. But if they send 4 people here, you'll be winning mid, because they know they will be losing that fight. So you will win mid, or should be winning mid, and push the enemy out. That's one way to take the map off. Of course, the enemy might cheese you, and you have to be very. This is one of the maps, or these kind of maps. You have to be very aware of how the enemy splits up. Because what I often do with my team is that we cheese the enemy. Because often people they send their full team up to a lumber mill because then they can fly down or jump down, and then they send their tank mid. That's currently the meta strategy for a lot of teams, I feel like. And what we do is we just completely circ here, have everyone besides our paladin. Our paladin is in the fight, but he's ready to move out, and the rogue will leave farm alone, undefended, because no one's gonna no one caps it. That's just how it works out right now. Very seldomly people cap it. And you remember, you have your battleground enemies. You keep clicking as a target caller or shot caller. You keep clicking through every single enemy to make sure you have the eye on them. But what we do instead is we send, because most people will be circling up here, is we send a guardian druid and a holy paladin up. And we're just here to spin. We don't care about winning this fight. We're here to spin and delay the enemy. As soon as we either A, die, B, get blacksmith, we begin rotating. Our rogue will be trying here, because often if people do this, they'll not be sending their mage down here, or priest, they'll be sending it like this. And we hope our rogue wins the 1v1. And maybe sometimes they leave their rogue here and they only send a mage, for example, to try and cap this. Our rogue can often 1v1, or that's what I feel like I've seen. Rogues often 1v1 mages. That's just how the game goes. And then we'll be able to get this. If we cap this, let's say it's a horde, I'm just going to change the colors up so it's faction specific. The Alliance will be capping this here. And the Horde will be capping this here. That's a given. That always happens. That never changes. Let's say the Horde win this fight, right? Horde wins this fight. Mage dies, Rogue stays. Mage back spawn. This is Horde now. Now, as up here in Limbo, we can give it up. We don't care about it anymore. We have already gotten these two, and we care about getting just 3. We only want 3 bases. If we get 3 bases, we win. That means that a Guardian Druid can rotate back here. Oops, he's behind now. Can rotate back here, keep defending. Rogue stays here, but Holy Paladin now enters fray here, and we give up Lumber Mill because we've wasted enough time. We don't need this, so this will become Alliance now. Due to us having, in my opinion, a better, we only have 2 people here mid, right? The enemy only has 2 people. We have almost our whole team. This fight should be won. I believe, and that's a tendency I've seen, that Guardian Druid and Holy Paladin is better than Vengeance Demon Hunter and Holy Paladin. They generally win. So that means that here, because we have both a 1-man advantage, because we've ignored our farm completely, we will be able to wipe the enemy and also get midpoint. That's one way of winning this matchup, right? As a Horde. As Alliance, before I talked about the RMP strategy, with the RMP strategy, you don't go for mid. You go for, instead, the top these 3, right? And that's all you need to do. Depending on what ones you've capped, you want to send different people different ways. So let's say we're going back to the Horde one, right? This is how our location is currently looking, and how the setup's looking. What we do in this situation is we have 1 person at each base and 1 prepared to move out immediately. What we normally send is we have our Holy Paladin, he stays on Blacksmith, together with most of the team. They fluctuate between it. We have our Priest stand right here, and we have 1 Priest stand over here, so they can move between bases. Additionally, we have a mobile champion, like a Demon Hunter. We can also have other characters, but we have a Demon Hunter in this situation, who's standing here ready to jump down here and move out. We have a Warlock portal set between here, and have our Warrior, or Retribution Paladin, ready to move out, so they can additionally help over here if they need a DPS. And the last few people, they stand here mid and get ready to move out, not as close, but stand by the flag and around the flag so they can move if need be. And this way we just stand here, and this is all about just delaying. You have to delay for 8 minutes straight, more or less, and wait it out. In this situation, the enemy team has to respond somehow. So how do you respond as an enemy team in this situation? You've lost everything. 3 bases down. You have to capture a new base. What do? You go for a most vulnerable one. Where is the enemy most vulnerable? That's not mid. It's not on farm. It's in gold mines. So often what you'll be doing is you'll be sending people gold mines to try and cap it. But here you can do a small mind trick and try and play on the enemy. What you do, or an example of a strategy you can do, is trick the enemy into thinking you're going to do it. Often you have to leave bases undefended if it's going to happen. You're going to send a task force, essentially, of most of your characters down to here. So let's say they send their we're going to leave 1 Disc Priest out, 1 Disc Priest Rogue, and Mage again. I'm going to leave a Demon Hunter here on the base, and the rest are going to circ. They're going to act like their Rogue is going to walk up like this on their mount and act like he's defending here. So now the Horde think, okay, their Rogue's defending here. Logically, he should be defending, but he might be leaving. We can't say because he can stealth. So he goes up here on mount to show the enemy team or give them false information, or he's going to stealth. The Mage and Priest, you make a Warlock portal from here to here, and that way you can fast move between it. What you then do is you send your full task force down here and bait the enemy, because you have to bait them. You bait the enemy and you have to try and fight them. You can either win this fight, and hopefully you do win it, because then you get the point. And even if you lose it, let's say you lose it, the whole enemy team have to assist, right? So we're going to send our team down here. Most of the people, they might only leave 1 person. That's going to be a Retribution Paladin. Their Retribution Paladin is the person staying, right? So their whole team, almost whole team, has already left. They might be leaving their Demon Hunter behind or something, That's still quite a few people. Because people panic when they make these calls. They panic. I panic. Everyone panics. You're like, shit, we're invading. So you send your whole team down there to try and defend it. When they do that, the other team sends their mage, rogue, and priest mid and tries to cap it, or they can even go for farm due to it being the place first away from the enemy and make just confusion. I believe blacksmith is better and easier to cap due to it not being a tank. You do not want to try and cap a tank. Tanks are annoying, it takes too a long time. If, let's say, the roles were reversed, it was a demon hunter and not a guardian druid, I believe it would be better to cap on the demon hunter. Demon hunters do not have, like guardian druids, 1 minute of delay. We have, I believe it's 20 seconds-ish of delay. And there's a big difference between 20 seconds and 1 minute delay. The problem is if a rogue mage priest comes on you, they can mind control you, sheep you, sap you, and blind you. You have no way of stopping them. Whereas the Guardian Druid, you can Incarnation, not get CC'd for 30 seconds, use your Bark Skin twice, and also have Trinket. You have a lot more availability and a lot more defensibility to stop people from capping from you. So if it was Demon Hunter, as said, you want to go for this base. Because you can CC him and cap it. This means the whole task force over here will have to scatter and run back, or they will lose a base. Or we can keep defending and hope their Demon Hunter can hold it, which he most likely can't. And it's going to be Alliance favored now. And now the Alliance are in a better position. It's not a good position, because one big problem with this position you're in right now is, let's say the enemy team notices this, they send their Paladin moving up immediately to cap this. That means as soon as you cap this, you have to send one, just priest. That means you have to immediately send one person up to try and hold this base. Often the mage is going to go up here and run up, or the rogue is going to sprint up and defend. If you can get there in time. Often they will be able to get there in time because people's reaction time fluctuates and they might not notice it in the heat of a moment. When you have these three bases, because they're very bad to defend, they're not very good to defend, let's be realistic. This one is far away from the other ones. You want to try and keep these three bases if possible. Having 3 bases is the objective, but having these 3 bases is definitely like the best, or these 3 bases here. But if you have these 3 bases, you have to make sure that you defend them in a proper way. This means you have people who can leap or fly, a lot of those people in the mid. And you keep 2 people at each base this time instead of just a single. So that means something like this, where you have your Retribution Paladin and Druid waiting out here. Oh, it's going to be a Vengeance Demon Hunter. Let's just swap it around. You have your Vengeance Demon Hunter and Paladin, Retribution Paladin, defending here. You have a Rogue and Mage defending here. You have your Warrior here. A DK here-ish, just on the way down and up. You have your Priest, your Holy Priest, not Holy Priest, this Priest. Why am I not able to move that? Okay, that's interesting. Just gonna make a new one then. You have your Disc Priest over here. And last but not least, you have your Retribution Paladin and Warlock around here, or even up here. Making them ready to move. The big problem is, there's a lot of distance to cover. If this guy has to move all the way down here, that's a lot of distance. That's why it's not optimal. But if this is your situation, you have to live with it the best way possible. That's why I like to have a lot of people ready to move, and I like to have them down here because they can move faster between these points here. And have a Warlock portal between these points here so you can move quickly. It does save time, and every second counts. I believe that is the essence of some different tactics you can go through during the match and in the beginning of the match. As said, the most important is to hold 3 bases. If you hold 3 bases, you gotta be steadfast about holding those 3 bases. You gotta keep backups on those 3 bases. It's very important you don't panic. You want to try and keep at all times at least you want to keep 1 person, possibly even 2, maybe even 3 during the end time at each single base, just to spin, just to stay there and defend until you can get backup. These capture the flag maps are all about waiting it out and waiting for backup to come and help you. But yes, I believe that is this. If you want to know more, if you want to ask me some questions, do hit me up. I'm very available on Twitch. At Twitch, I'm going to link it down below. do like and subscribe. I hope you guys like these kind of videos, and I'll keep making them for every single map, and I hope it helps you guys out. Of course, this is a format a bit shorter. I could talk an hour about this map. I did for Wars and Gulch, which I had to delete because it was too much rambling, I believe. But then again, it really depends on your comp. What is your comp's objective? If you're team fighting comp, you want to win the blacksmith fight. If you're more of a if you have RMP at your disposal, you want to try and get gold mines or lumber mill wherever the enemy rogue plus help goes. Yes, that is it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again.